Nikki Haley is in Texas this week, promising to go the distance and raising over $1 million on this fundraising trip. So despite the losses in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and polls now showing Trump with double-digit leads in South Carolina, she shows no signs of relenting. The question is, where does she go from here? Let's bring in Nikki Haley spokesperson, Olivia Perez-Cubas. Olivia, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We're very excited to have you. I've been really looking forward to talking to you. So let's start with Trump's recent court decision, with the court decision pertaining to Trump on Friday, that $355 million fine. Do you think this could help Haley garner more voters?
Look, I think at the end of the day, it shows that Trump is constantly surrounded by chaos. He has spent more time in the courtroom than he has spent on the campaign trail. We're talking about hundreds of million dollars that he owes. We found out recently that he's been using campaign donations. $50 million of campaign donations have been going to his legal fees. I mean, the list goes on and on. The RNC is broke. Like, this is not where the Republican Party needs to be as we enter November here. What we need is someone at the top of the ticket who's focused, who has a steady hand, who can serve 8 years, fix the problems that this country faces. It's not Trump. He's surrounded by chaos. Increasingly, that person is Nikki Haley, and that's what we're fighting for.
I do want to bring up the polling right now in South Carolina. This is Haley's home state. She's behind by almost 30 points. Why do you think she's struggling in South Carolina, Olivia?
Look, I think at the end of the day, she's fighting for the 70% of Americans who don't want another Biden-Trump matchup. We know 53% of Americans think both Donald Trump and Joe Biden are too old to serve in office. She's fighting for them. We're here in South Carolina. We had great events yesterday. We have more events today until Saturday. So we'll see where the numbers lead. But I think more than anything, it's important to remember that in Iowa, Donald Trump didn't get 49% of the vote. In New Hampshire, he didn't get 46% of the vote. That's a lot of Republican voters who don't want him to be the next president. So he likes to create this kind of aura of inevitability, but that isn't so. There are many American voters out there who don't want him to be president, and that's who Nikki's fighting for.
I mentioned she made $1 million in fundraising in Texas, $16 million in January. The money's still pouring in. So with that money coming in, how long does Haley plan on staying in this?
Look, the money's still coming in because people are excited about her. People are hungry for a better choice, and that's what Nikki gives them. We raised, as you said, $16 million in January. That was our strongest fundraising month to date. We had $1 million in Texas, and that came before we had a swing in New York, Florida, Texas, California. She's been crisscrossing the country. The energy around her is so real. There's a lot of momentum. People are motivated by her and the fact that there is a better choice out there, because at the end of the day, she's the one thing standing between the Biden-Trump matchup that nobody wants. So we're just going to keep riding that momentum. We're excited. We're closing this gap in South Carolina. We've got another week to do it, and we're ready for it.
Haley has said on the campaign trail for Trump to pay his legal fees, he might tap into the Republican Party. Do you think that's a good strategy for her going forward?
I think that's really concerning, and I think every Republican's ears should be perked up when they hear that, because that is a problem. The Republican Party, the RNC, needs to not just be helping win the White House. We got to help the House. We have to help the Senate candidates. If we are distracted by Trump's legal dramas, that's a problem.
Former President Trump is doubling down on those NATO comments. I know Haley and Biden have been speaking about it on the campaign trail. Let's listen to those comments, and Olivia, I'll talk to you right after.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
What was the campaign's reaction when he made that statement?
This is incredibly dangerous talk. We need a president who has moral clarity, a president who has the moral clarity to know the difference between right and wrong, to know the difference between the importance of standing with our allies and against our enemies. That is not Donald Trump.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.